Welcome to Class 9, Political Science, Chapter 1, Democracy in the Contemporary World, Part 2. In the Part 1, we saw Pinochet's government in Chile and the communist rule in Poland. Page 8 and 9 shows the rising of democracy over the last 100 years. 1900 was the beginning of the 20th century. We see it starts from the West in America and Europe. By 1950, it traveled to India and Australia. By 1975, we were about to witness an explosion of democracy all around the world. In a very short span of time, that is, by 2000 or the 21st century, it is expanded like something very rarely seen in history. Students, I have not shown the maps in the slides. The map shown on page 8 in your book, it represents how the democracy had expanded over the years of 1900 to 1950. It is colored with red and brown color in your book. On page 9, too, it shows the expansion of the democratic government in the world. Let us summarize some main points. First, democracy has expanded throughout the 20th century. Second, democracy did not spread evenly or equally in all parts of the world. It was established first in some regions and then spread to other regions. Third, while a majority of countries are democratic today, there are still large parts of the world that are non-democratic. Now we'll see the phases in the expansion of democracy. Those maps which is shown on page 8 and 9 do not tell us much about what happened before the 20th century. Students, you might have read the French Revolution of 1789 in the history book. This popular uprising did not establish a secure and stable democracy in France. Throughout the 19th century, democracy in France was overthrown and restored several times. Through the 18th and 19th centuries, series of political events reduced the power of monarchy and feudal lords. Feudal lords means the zamindari system. The right to vote was granted to more and more people. Around the same time as the French Revolution, the British colonies in North America declared themselves independent in 1776. At the same time, America is quick to declare itself an independent nation ruled by democracy, while Britain on the other hand makes a slower advancement to it. Page 11 talks about universal adult franchise, which means the right to vote to everybody. Though countries declared themselves democracy, they only started to implement after a series of struggles. The right to vote by man and woman, rich and poor, white and black, first started in New Zealand. Countries that were ruled over as colonies had not only struggles for independence but democracy as well. India had a relatively better experience than the other countries. Let's take the example of Ghana. After gaining independence and democracy, it was overthrown by military. When people from one country choose a method to rule over themselves, they mainly have two options. It is given in the recent phase, that is, democracy and communism. Soviet Union or old Russia was a gigantic communist country. So, after its collapse, democracy really took off. Now, about 140 countries are holding multi-party elections. Even our neighboring countries like Pakistan and Nepal are trying their hand out at democracy. Page 13 takes us to Myanmar, and also known as Burma, our neighboring country, where we see yet another military coup rejecting democracy. As a result, 10 lakhs of people had to take shelter elsewhere. Fear of prison restricts them to voice their opinion, to raise their suggestion. Even Nobel Prize winners like Yang Sang Suu Kyi have been put under house arrest for trying to form a democratic government. Students, there is a conversation on page 14 which you go through by yourselves. It is a discussion between teacher and students about the expansion of democracy. If the world or whole world is turning to democracy, do we need a world government? For instance, just ask questions to yourselves. Who controls the sea? What you do about global warming? When government needs money, who do they turn to? The United Nations is the answers to most of the global governance. What is the United Nations? A democratic organization. Out of 192 countries, only 5 have real power, while the United States of America contributes most of its funding. Page 16 shows how the world is managing its money power. Money, a hand, only it is handed or it is controlled by only a handful of countries, decides what to be done with it. Though the world switching to be democracy, global organizations were much more like monarchies or king rule from the past. Now that the Soviet Union is no more, America dominates the working of international organizations. Previously, the competition between the two kept in balancing in check. In the democracy promotion, we see there have been instances where a non-democratic country was attacked by a democratic country to change its governance. The Iraq War was one such an example. The US invaded this country, accusing Iraq of possessing nuclear bombs and weapons of mass destruction. They removed Saddam Hussein and suddenly changed the government. The United Nations declared this war as illegal. Page 18 includes the chapter by asking a series of questions like, is this the right way to promote democracy? Can democracy be promoted by war? Is it democratic or to force democracy? So, with this, we come to an end to the first chapter of democracy in the contemporary world. Thank you, students, for listening.